everyone, and welcome to today's Q&A. I am Kituka Sonkola, and I am joined with the multi-talented Mona Lisa Msime. She is a writer, she's a director, she is a presenter, so she is talented on screen, off screen. She's business savvy. Mona Lisa, where do you find the time to do so many things all at once?
Thank you so much for having me, and hello everyone. I honestly don't have the time to do everything all at once. I just struggle and I struggle, but the Lord is good and He's always by my side, and somehow I've managed to get every task done. So I'm still figuring it out. So when I have the answer, I'll make sure to tell you.
Please do, because that whole thing about sisters can do it all. I'm just like, oh, this one.
We can.
You think we can? I'm
we
just
can.
like, please teach me.
Amandala.
So your film Toilets to Let is gracing our lineup in Encounters 2021. You were here with Brown Skin Girl, and I before that was last year. And
yes.
So I'm just like, okay, Toilets to Let, Brown Skin Girl, they're quite different from each other. How did we move from Brown Skin Girl to Toilets to Let?
So with Brown Skin Girl, as I had probably mentioned before, it was all about, it was like a therapeutic part that I had to take to love my skin, to just be like, I'm okay with the skin that I have, because I had tried so hard to kind of get rid of it when I was a young child. So I had to tell a story that I'm okay right now. It wasn't for the public, but more for myself. Unfortunately, or fortunately, it got to be a film. And the main reason why I'm a filmmaker is to be the voice of the voiceless. So once I'd made Brown Skin Girl and I found my voice, and I felt like this is the time now I tell other people's stories. This is the time I do what I say that I am about, being the voice of the voiceless. So that's how I stumbled across also Toilets to Let, because I felt like it's an issue that, because we are so privileged in South Africa, well, not all of us, most of us are quite privileged, we tend to turn a blind eye in things that our fellow South Africans are facing, our fellow South Africans are struggling with. They can't get themselves out of that situation. So they need people like us to tell that story, to try and help out where we can. I mean, at this point, I can't do anything about the toilets situation in the townships, but all I could do was tell the story so that someone else who might be in a position to help those community members can actually reach out and help out in South Africa. We have to make South Africa, a great place, not once again, but a great place for everyone that lives in it.
And it is truly each and every one of our responsibility to do what we can. I mean, I also didn't know the full scope and gravity of the situation down in Cape Town until I saw the documentary, because I mean, I live in Gauteng and you read about protesters and you're just like, oh my gosh, why are these people throwing poo everywhere? But then your documentary just shed such a light. Like, of course, if this was my life too, I would be frustrated because no one cares to listen to me. And unless I make a big hoo-ha, then, and also it gains you those headlines for those 2 or 3 weeks, and then it's back to the same old. The gentleman who you interviewed, who was speaking a lot about the situation, sorry, I forgot what organization he's from.
He's from the Social Justice, which is in Khayelitsha. His name is Axolile.
Yes. Has he given you any feedback on, how the situation is going?
Well, with him, after we had recorded the film, he was at his last term being the president of the organization. So unfortunately, right now, he's no longer with the organization. So in that sense, he hasn't given me feedback. However, as one who was quite passionate about the situation, I regularly go to the townships that I'd filmed. And what has happened right now, I'm still actually trying to get to the full story, the scope of it. But after we had filmed some of the toilets, which I mentioned, like organizations like Umshingo and Sanitech, they removed those toilets. So if you go exactly where I had filmed the documentary, you'll find that the toilets aren't there anymore. It's another organization that is providing services to the community member. So there's some change. Is it good? Not exactly, because it's still the same thing. It's still essentially
Mm.
the container toilets. It's still the plastic toilets that are not flushable.
Oh man. So with the work that you do you let your heart lead you to the next project, or do you, do some research and say, oh, I'd like to do something on, I don't know, gender-based violence, for example. You just find something you're like, okay, I'm going in that direction, or you just let your heart lead the way.
I guess I think I'd say I'd let my heart lead the way, because I don't like jumping onto what's popular right now, because there's dangers with that, because after a few weeks everyone is going to be not talking about it. So if
Mm,
you had originally wanted to speak about it, regardless of the fact that people are going to be speaking about it in the next 2 years, you will still want to put out that documentary because you're quite passionate about it and you let your heart lead the way. So I look at topics that I feel should be highlighted and should be spoken about, and I feel like I can do something about it and speak onto that topic.
okay. I know right now you're busy at doing your honors at AFTA, and
Yes.
you're doing some commercials at Varsity. How is that different from, your scope in the documentary world? Do you have a preference as well?
Yeah, I think I do. I think documentaries all the way through, because what I love with documentaries, I get to observe, I get to hang out with the people that I'm doing the documentary, but I get to learn a lot. But with commercials, it's scripted. Each and everything has to be planned from the beginning right through to the end, the middle, everything. That is nice for someone who likes to work on the ball and know that this is how I start and this is how I end. But with documentaries, like I said, I get to hang out, and if something changes, I can always say, okay, cool, this is what we had in thought we were going to do, but the situation is not the same, so let's change everything. I'm joking, I don't really change everything, but last minute, put on last minute things and say, this is the direction that we were originally going to go with, but this is not the direction that things are happening in and everything like that.
Yeah.
So documentaries are my preference. I love documentaries. I'm a documentary girl.
Okay. So can we expect a feature length from you anytime soon?
Definitely, girl. I'm out in the business. I want to do out in the business. I want to
Please.
do everything. You can expect a feature length from me because right now, as you've mentioned, I am doing my honors, so I'm learning quite a lot in script writing. So definitely, as soon as I sharpen my skills, I am writing that feature length. I am out there getting the funding and putting it out into the world. I probably will kind of make it documentary vibe-ish, but feature length, because I really do love documentaries. I feel
Yeah.
like they are they are something that we don't really pay attention to. Because we want feature length, we want romance, we want to see how the character, we
Mhm.
want to forget about real life, but
Yeah.
documentaries kind of forces us to see what's happening and to pay attention to what's happening around us rather.
And I mean, you stumbled into the world of documentaries quite by accident, because after
Yeah.
your BCom, you were like, no, I am an artist. And so you got into docu and, learned more about documentaries from there. Was it like a shocker when you first got to docu? How was your first experience of documentaries when you got there?
So I did a B admin at DWC. And then when I got into docu, it was a shocker because originally I wanted to be an actress. So when I got into docu, I knew that I was going to be learning about filmmaking. I didn't know the intensity that was behind writing a film, producing a film, directing a film. So it was a shocker to my system, but I think I got a hang of it quite early also. There was a lot that I learned about filmmaking, and I really got to appreciate each and every single thing that I watch right now on television because I know
Mhm.
the amount of sweat and blood that goes into it from the behind the scenes to in front of the scenes, pre-production, post-production, each and every single thing. So I really, 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 if Docu has taught me anything, is to appreciate television and what we see,
Oh.
well, what they put for us.
So outside of your honors, because I know you definitely have to produce work for your honors, is it something that you're working on for yourself for future? purposes that you're kind of crafting in the background?
Ah, there is. There is. I am, like you mentioned, I'm busy with commercials.
Mhm.
That's what I'm busy with for myself. I'm working with a few NGO, not a few
Okay.
NGO, in NGO actually. And I'm telling a story about something that they're doing. I don't want to get into detail right now because I want to keep people in suspense and
All
wait
right.
for it to come out and then see it. But it's definitely a fun project, something that I haven't done before. I'm learning quite a lot, and it's extremely out of everything that I've done before.
Mm.
So yeah, so that's what I'm doing at the moment. And then also I'm a presenter. I'm a presenter, which is not exactly it is in the industry, but it's not film. So I'm sharpening those skills as well. Like you've mentioned, I'm doing quite a lot in these streets.
And you're doing it marvelously, marvelously. It is so fun. It's so inspiring to watch for us who are like, oh, another star on the rise. So we wish you everything of the best with every single one of your endeavors. Can't wait to see what you're cooking up with the NGO and also your,
I actually
honors and
forgot.
finishing projects. Yes.
Yeah, sorry, I actually forgot to mention there is something else that I'm also busy with,
Mhm.
which is going to come out. I feel like I'm confident to speak about this one. It is a story that is based in Miningburg, but is extremely different from what you would hear about Miningburg. It's extremely exciting. I'm working with a producer from America, Larissa Beck. So you should also be on the lookout for that one. It's a fun story. It's a story where we just playing with kids, where we kind of remind ourselves how it was like when we were in high school, in primary
Yeah.
school, and not focus on the negativity that you'd sometimes find about stories told in Miningburg. So yeah.
Mm. Is it difficult to work with children, unlike with yourself and other adults?
I wouldn't say. I mean, I come from a family full of children, so I know my way around kids through and through. I think also with Brown Skin Girl,
Yeah.
I got a kid, and everyone was like, "Don't work with the kid. Kids are difficult to work with. You're not gonna be able to control them." And I was like, "Let's see how it's gonna go."
No,
And
but she
from
doesn't
that,
count.
after
She's
working with
family.
her, I worked with another kid as well. So for me, it's not difficult because I have. Excuse me.
No, I was saying she doesn't count because she's family. Of course, you're gonna have a simpler
Yes.
time with her.
But still, I mean, kids are kids, regardless of the fact that they're family. I mean, when you
True.
meet a kid, if you make them feel like family, definitely will be an easy task for you to work with them. Kids just need love and tenderness.
And with that smile, of course, you woo them over. No problem. So we'll be keeping an eye out for that project as well. Please bring it through to Encounters because we love supporting your work. We love having your work on our platform and in our lineups. So would you like to share your social media so that people can keep in touch with how those projects are coming together and support you?
Yes. So before I share my social media, just a disclaimer to everyone, I'm still working on it. Like it's not as it's supposed to be, but it's gonna get to the point where it is what it's supposed to be. With that being said, my social media handle is Monalisa_Msime on Instagram. I don't exactly have Facebook and Twitter. Like I said, I'm working on it. So you can find me on Instagram at the moment. DM me if you want, just say,
Just
where
slide
is the
in.
no I'm joking. No, 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 no,
Oh,
no,
don't
no, I'm
slide
joking.
in.
No sliding, no. No.
Thank you so much
No
for your
tags as
time.
well.
Oh yes,
Thank
please.
you.
Let's
No,
let's have nice
please,
etiquette
please.
when we engage with Mona Lisa. Thank you so much for your time, Mona Lisa. We really appreciate you making time to speak to us today, and we just are so honored and pleased to have your film as part of the festival this year. Thank you guys for
Thank
tuning in.
you.
Thank you guys for
Thank you for
tuning
having me, and
in.
thank you. Oh, sorry.
No,
Thank you for having the film at the Encounters lineup. It's always great to know that Encounters is behind your back. When you're making a film, Encounters will definitely put you on the map. And it is a platform that helps us as young filmmakers because we reach an audience that we wouldn't have reached by our own selves. So thank you for Encounters for putting our films in. And giving them to the audiences.
Thank you. I mean, we cannot be anything without the filmmakers. So we're really grateful to you. We're also so internally grateful to our sponsors and our partners. A big thank you to all of you. And thank you so much, guys, for tuning in to this Q&A today. Please do come over to our website, www.encounters.co.za, where you will find all the festival information from this year and previous festivals as well. And you will find there our social media details. Please follow us and tag us. We're in the movies that you're watching, engage with us, and we hope to see you at this year's festival. We will be seeing you everywhere virtually. Don't forget, because virtual this year. Thank you, guys.